Wandering Village, a management colony sim developed by the very serious Swedish team Fawn Studio, where a group of nomads found a place to call home, and it is your job to manage and build a thriving village. There's a very small detail, however. That place is at the top of this titanic 2-kilometer long six-legged behemoth named Ombu. This massive beast will take you and your people on an endless journey throughout the vast lands of this foreign world, slowly, very slowly. The game has 3 gameplay levels. The village level, where you do everything regarding your population, the Ombu level, where you interact with it, and you will need it, remember this part, this is gonna be important later, and the world level, where you can check where Ombu is, where it's going, and the biomes and the numerous highlighted areas. The nomads, however, will be your main focus for the large portion of the game. You begin with a very limited amount of materials and technology and will need to build shelter, collect food, water, medicine, and many other resources that we will gather over time. Most resources can be refined into, refined resources that are required to build the majority of structures available to you. However, in the beginning, most of the buildings are locked, and we'll have to research them one by one. To get access to those technologies, you will need to build a unique building originally called Research Building. However, instead of possessing a total and complete freedom in what you want to research, each time you complete them, the game will give you 2 options to choose from. In the end, you will research every option regardless, so this mechanic is more of a choice in prioritization rather than a permanent, linear path of progression. Each technology takes a significant amount of time to be fully researched, slowing down the pace even further. Fortunately, the process can be accelerated by constructing more research buildings, and you will need those bastards fast because this game is really hard. Many of the resources you will need later in the game won't be available on Ombu's back. In order to gather them, you must scavenge special locales in the surrounding area. For that, you need to send scouts assigned to another very originally named building, the Scavenger Hunt. Through scavenging, you will be able to get unique resources, extra common resources in case of scarcity, and, most importantly, population. You see, to our misfortune, your colony must have made a celibacy vote or something because they don't make children at all. The only way to increase population is to miraculously find more nomadic groups across Ombu's path, or to recruit more people from settlements scattered across the regions. Your nomads will require shelter for happiness and food for, not die. The population happiness is based on housing, food quality, and food variety. High-tier houses increase housing quality, processed/cooked food increases food quality, and more food sources increase food variety. Happiness affects population's productivity, meaning if you don't treat your nomads well, the domino effect to famine is gonna hit hard. Population sickness and other factors can and will decrease your happiness, so even once your village is stable and settled, not keeping an eye on for possible dangerous situations will eventually ruin your run. Both the plateau and the world are procedurally generated, meaning that you will never be able to memorize a strategy, forcing you to learn how to quickly and accordingly adapt to everything that happens to your villagers. But even though most of your playtime will be spent here, your city-sized caravan is just as important. Ombu has its own life and needs: sleep and food. Despite it being mostly independent, you are able to issue commands if needed. However, unlike your little nomads that will do whatever you order them to do, Ombu needs to trust you for it to listen to you. You can gain its trust by taking care of its back, feeding it, which is adorable, and healing it by administrating antidotes. The research tree also has some technologies that will improve your village's productivity, but will affect Ombu's trust in you. So the key is to keep the balance. And as if this wasn't enough, eventually you will face the game's main antagonist, Pollen. Pollen clouds of various sizes will surge from time to time. They will settle on top of Ombu, and forming spores that will infect vegetation and poison the animal, and these spores are tough. I mean, they spread like wildfire. It is essential to burn these spores, otherwise it will not only hurt your productivity, but also Ombu. And once they start appearing, oh boy, there's no going back. You will keep finding them until the game ends or until you lose. Wandering Village, a fantastic colony sim with a great art style, addicting gameplay that will keep you playing for... Wait, what?